Today I have 5 beginner strumming patterns that every guitarist should learn. These are helpful in getting you comfortable strumming on the instrument if you're new to it, and also are going to apply to a lot of popular songs. I'm Joshua Kenson, and this is Kenson Guitar Academy. I help new guitarists reach their musical goals, so make sure to subscribe if you're new to the guitar and you're ready to learn. So to start with, we're going to be doing a strumming pattern in 4. So that just means we're counting to 4. Let's keep it real simple right now, okay? So we're going to go about this tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, right in there, okay? And let's do this over an E minor, a nice simple chord. If you don't know that, I have the diagram up there. That is your second finger on the 5th string at the 2nd fret and your 3rd finger right underneath it at the 4th string at the 2nd fret. We are going to include all strings on this strum, and we are strumming on each strong beat. So that's on the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So really, this is just keeping a steady strum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just try to keep it steady. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So nothing fancy there, but we're going to add one aspect to it that will give it a little bit of extra flavor, okay? So what we're going to do now is put a strum in between each count, okay? So the and of 1, the and of 2. So this is like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're going to keep this all down strums, but the key here is we want to give a full stronger strum on that beat, on that 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then we're going to do a lighter strum and kind of focus in on the lower portion of the chord on the and of the beat, okay? So it would be kind of a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it kind of gives it this momentum. So we have motion to it. It's not just that lacks in momentum. It's just a lot of strong strums. We want that heavy, soft, louder, soft. It gives it more dynamic. So where does this apply to like an actual song? Well, this is very similar to what you would do with something like Coldplay's The Scientist. Now I know that song is mostly piano, but it has that same kind of chug feeling, that strong, soft. So it's a little faster. It's more at a tempo like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But if you can do that, let's just take an E minor, a C major, a G major, and a D over F sharp. So like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Strong, soft, G. So you can tell that's something you've heard, maybe not even there. That's also kind of like the Cranberries song, Zombie. You can add those little extra things in there eventually, but let's just keep it simple for right now. So you can see right away the first strumming pattern that we're going over used in popular music, okay? And that is a really great one to go over because it's all down strums and it teaches you the idea of dynamics, the highness and lowness, the intensity of the music that we are playing, okay? And how to control that, which is very important. So that is our first strumming pattern. On to the next strumming pattern. Now this one I like to show to all my beginning students, and to be honest, I wouldn't say that you're not going to find this pattern anywhere in popular music, but I like to use it for a specific purpose, and that is to get us used to the idea of where our root notes are on the chords that we're learning, especially these beginner chords. So on an E minor here that we've been doing, our root note's on the 6th string, that open E string, okay? But on an A minor, our root note's on the 5th string, okay? So learning how to pinpoint where these things are and pick them out in the middle of strumming is a very important thing to be able to do. And it isn't as easy as you think it would be right off the bat, because we really need to pinpoint. These strings are really close together. So on an E minor, we're going to do this. It's still a 4 count, but what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 single picks on the 1st and 2nd beat, root, root. So on this particular chord, that's the 6th string twice. And then we're simply going to strum down on the 3rd beat and let that ring out over the 4th beat. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's root, root, down, 4, root, root, down, 4. Again, root, root, down. 4, one more time, root, root, down. So that's fairly simple over that E minor because it's the lowest string. We're not having to like pick in between strings, but let's take like an A minor or even a C major. Let's take a C major for instance, okay? Now this one, our root note is on the 5th string. So that root, root down is going to be 5, 5 down. And on that strum down, I'm really going to try to skip over, omit that 6th string and bring that strum from the 5th string down, okay? So on a C major, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Root, root, down. 4, again, root, root, down. 4. You can look at your hand if you need to. 2, down, 4. Root, root, down, 4. Just like that. So you could see if you were taking, let's say, like a D major to an A minor to a G major, which is a very common chord change. So that chord change, that chord progression right there, that would be if we were doing our root, root down. Let's do root, root down once on the D major, once on the A minor, and twice on the G major, okay? Now our root note changes on each chord, 4th string for the D major, 5th string for the A minor, and the 6th string for the G major. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. Root, root, down. 4 to the A minor, root, 5th string, root, down. 4, G major, root, root, down. 4, again, root, root, down. D major, root, 4th string, root, down. A minor, root, root, that's the 5th string, down. Into the G major, root, root, down. 4, one more time, root, root, down. Just like that, okay? So what we are learning there is really how to control our picking hand. You might have to look down at your hand every once in a while, that's perfectly fine, but the goal is to eventually get your hands trained to where you can trust what they're doing. They have muscle memory. They can, when they set out to pick the 2nd string, they're gonna pick the 2nd string. When they set out to pick the 5th string, they pick the 5th string, and so on. Great way to practice this is just to take a couple basic open chords. I like to stick with the open shape chords right now. This will work over bar chords as well, but these open shapes that all kind of fall within the first few frets, great to practice just a couple at a time. Take like A minor to C major, take E minor to G major, G major to D major, whatever 2 chords that you are currently trying to practice. The best way to practice all these chord changes is to really pinpoint them down to just a couple chords so you really get the back and forth motion between those 2 chords. And then eventually when you find that chord change in a broader context of a progression, a 4-chord progression or whatever, you're still going to have the ability to switch between those chords effortlessly. That is the goal, for us to be enjoying the process of playing the music, not so much focused on the mechanics of it, but that takes time and it takes practice. So the way to practice that, take a couple chords at a time and just go back and forth. So let's take A minor and a C major. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's root, root, down. Again, root, root, down. Switch C major, root, root, down. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the A minor. Again, root, root, down. And really try to hold off that move till the very end. So we really want to be switching chords at not like the last possible moment. Give yourself about a half beat to get there, but don't, simply because we aren't playing that 4th beat, don't move on the 4, move a little after the 4, because eventually you're gonna be using that 4th beat for strumming, and so if you're already headed to the next chord, that's not gonna work out well for you. So try to prolong that change as long as you can, but still try to give yourself, you know, maybe half a beat, maybe a little less than half a beat. So like moving on the and of 4, so like 4 and moving to the next chord. So next up, we're getting into more traditional style strumming patterns where we are including both the down and the up. Now, I went over the kind of process of creating these strumming patterns in another video I made, but these are a few that you find over a lot of different songs and get you acquainted with that process of strumming. Okay, so the first one, we are going to be playing the strong beats 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to squeeze an up strum. We're going to introduce an up strum now into the space between 3 and 4. So this would be like this: 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I am including the up strum in between 3 and 4. So if we take an E minor here, let's take it nice and slow. You don't need to worry about pinpointing your root notes, but you want to be aware of what notes are available in your chord. Luckily for E minor, that's every single string, so we don't need to be that careful. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be down, 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 up, down. Again, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Again, down, 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 up, down. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I like this one because it just introduces the aspect of that up strum and kind of gets us ready for the next strumming pattern, which is a lot more rhythmically pleasing and a little bit more difficult because we're going to actually skip over one of the down strums, but we find this pattern in a lot of popular music. You're going to be using this pattern a lot, so this one's pretty fun. Okay, so here we are going to be doing the strong beat on 1, down. We are going to do the strong beat on 2, down. We have the up beat after 2, up. I'm going to skip over the third beat. We are not going to express and strum that third beat. We are going to simply acknowledge that it's there, move over the strings, and get ready for the up strum after that third beat. Okay, so this is down, down, up, skip, up. And we are going to then finish it out by including the down strum on the fourth beat. Okay, so that is down, down, up, skip, up, down. And as we start to speed these up too, you'll notice that they feel a lot more rhythmically pleasing. We're playing them at a slow pace because we need to get the motions down, but then we break out that metronome and we start to gradually speed them up, whether we're just practicing it individually over one chord or including it in a 2-chord progression or a 4-chord progression. And if you're interested in practice sessions, I have a whole lot of practice sessions, guided practice sessions that I'm making over on my Patreon. I have it linked in the description, so check it out. I even have a free tier that's going to be including some of these practice sessions, so there's nothing to lose there. But I think having a guided practice, whether that be walking through a scale for 15 minutes and gradually speeding up that metronome, or taking some chord changes and having something to play against, is really useful. So I'm trying to put a lot of great practice sessions over there, and they usually range from about 10 minutes all the way up to 30 sometimes. Okay, so on to this strumming pattern. We're going to keep it nice and slow right now, so around this kind of down, down, up, down. But you can see if we sped it up, down, down, up, down, down, it's a lot more rhythmically pleasing. And we've absolutely heard this type of strumming in a lot of popular music. So E minor again, we're going to take it nice and slow. Here is this down, down, up, skip, up, down strumming pattern. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Down, down, up, skip, up, down. Again, down, down, up, skip, up, down. One thing, it's very important to express that skip. The reason I say skip is it's not just that we are skipping the third beat and we can let our hand rest. We are also setting it up for the up strum. So we are physically skipping over the strings, not just mentally skipping over the beat. So keep that in mind. Move that hand over the strings, skip the strings, so we are ready for that up strum after. Okay, so here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, down, down, up, skip, up, down, 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 up, skip, up, down. One more time. Down, down, up, skip, up, down. Last one. Down, down, up, skip, up, down. Really great strumming pattern. This is going to be useful to you as a beginner for sure. same thing applies. Take a couple chords back and forth, get really used to those strumming patterns, get used to those chord progressions, and these are going to be very useful for you as you start to learn some actual songs. So our final strumming pattern that we're going to be doing today is going to change the count a little bit, okay? So we are going to find this type of flow in a lot of songs. So instead of counting to 4, now we're only counting to 3. This is a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's that waltz feel. Da, 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 da. And so what we're going to be doing here is expressing the downbeat on 1, expressing the downbeat on 2, and on 3, but we're also going to be including the upbeat after 2 and the upbeat after 3. So this gives us I'm going to play it a little quicker right now so you can kind of get the flow of it, okay? So this is a down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And you can feel that waltz, that flow to it. Really great sounding. I like this strumming pattern a lot. I like that waltz feel a lot, okay? So again, we're gonna slow it down a little bit and work our way up to that faster pace eventually. So let's take that E minor again, and we're gonna go about a down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. So 1, 2, 3, 1. And notice I am giving a little bit more of an accent and emphasis on that first strum. It's strong, down, up, down, up, strong, down, down. It's not like that works, and I'm sure there's a song that does that. There's nothing wrong with it, but for what I'm trying to get across here is the idea of dynamics, okay? So if you need to start there and keep it at all one dynamic, that's okay, but eventually try to work in the idea of placing an accent here, an accent there, and then playing softer elsewhere, because it gives more contrast to what you're doing. It's not just one dynamic the whole time. There's up and down, there's flow. Okay, so here's that E minor again. Here we go, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, again. 2, 3, down, down, up, down, up. Keep it nice and steady. And dynamic can even just be by including a full strum, and then lighter strums. I'm only catching like the top half of the chord. So it's not even an intensity thing, it's just what am I including as I'm strumming. So the full chord and then the partial chord. Full, partial, and there's that accent. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and. So there you have 5 beginning strumming patterns that every guitarist should learn, and I feel like these really span a bunch of different skills that you're going to need as a guitarist, right? Pinpointing notes on the guitar, that root down strumming pattern, this waltz feel, the idea of dynamics, and then the idea of always keeping that flow moving, even though sometimes we gotta skip over strings. So a lot of different skills that you can learn out of these 5 strumming patterns. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to let me know by dropping a like and a comment down below. Again, if you are interested in some guided practice sessions with these strumming patterns and a lot of other things, scales and chords and stuff like that, make sure to follow me over on my Patreon. I have it linked in the description. And again, I do have a free tier, so there's some stuff on there for everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Joshua Kenson. This is Kenson Guitar Academy, and I'll see you in the next one.